was recognized in the principle of ubi jus ibi idem. Remedium was recognized in as B and white. The Latin phrase ubi jus as by versus white. The Latin phrase ubi jus ibi idem remedium is used to express the idea that where there is a right, there is a remedy. As B white is a landmark in this case in which the House of Lords states that principle of ubi jus ibi remedium enters a claimant remedy when their right has been infringed. Even the right is of purely personal nature, and even if the remedy sought is not otherwise available in the common law. Gloucester Grammar School case is a landmark case based on which of the following maxim? Gloucester, damnum sine injuria. Based on which of the following maxim? Damnum sine injuria. The National Consumer Dispute shall have jurisdiction to complain where the value of a good services paid as consideration exceeds. National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commissions under Consumer Protection Act 2019 shall have jurisdiction to complain where the value of a good services paid as consideration exceeds 10 crores. The National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission under Consumer Protection Act. Consideration exceeds 10 crores. Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. 10 crores. Complaint where the value of a good service paid as consideration exceeds 10 crores. Under Section 41 of Consumer Protection Act 2019 and appeal from the order of a district commission. Under Section 41 of Consumer Protection Act 2019, appeal from the order of a district commissions lies to state commissions. Appeal district commission, you can appeal to state commissions. For an individual be deemed to be resident in India, contest elections, self-democracy, common students, otherwise dictator will be born, and the world will be go to destructions. Good leader needs competition in election. For an individual to be deemed to be resident in India, in any previous year, one of the condition is resident of India. If he is an Indian for a period of 182 days or more during the previous year, 182 days, individual deemed to be resident in India. If he explanation. According to Section 6 of the Income Tax Act 1961, an individual is deemed to be resident in India in any previous year. Income Tax Act. India period of 180 days or more during the previous year. If he is in India for a period of 60 days more during the previous year, and 360 days or more during the 4 years immediately preceding the previous year. However, in respect of Indian citizen and a person of Indian origin who is visited India during the year, a period of 60 days as mentioned in 2 hour shall be substituted with 182 days. Mr. Kapoor purchased a residential house in January 2021 for 80 lakh. Residential house. He sold the house in April 2022 ଲକ୍ଷରେ। In this case, the gain of 14 ଲକ୍ଷ. On account of sale of residential house will be charged to tax under which the following head? Income from capital gains. Head tax. The definition of a capital asset under section 214 of the Income Tax Act includes property of any kind, movable or immovable, tangible or intangible, aspersible or intangible, held by the assessee for any purpose. Section 45 of the Income Tax Act states that any profit or gains arising from the transfer of any capital asset affected in previous year shall be chargeable to income tax under the head affected in previous year. Capital gains. Income tax under the head capital gains. Thus, the gain of 14 lakhs arising on account of sale of a residential house will be charged to tax under the head capital gains. Section 45 of the Income Tax Act 1961. Mr. Manjot is a trader supplying goods from his MS Singh Traders Goods. The office of the firm is located in Delhi. Office of the firm. The Godown are located in the state of Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Kashmir respectively. MS Singh Traders made following interstate supplies from different states during the current financial years. So, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh and Jammu Kashmir. Ascertain the state in which the Mr. Manjot is required to take registration under GST. Registration of GST, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh and Jammu Kashmir. Located state of Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Jammu Kashmir respectively. Delhi. So GST is Delhi, Uttar Pradesh and Jammu Kashmir or Punjab. Primary GST slabs for any regular taxpayers are presently pegged at 0, 5, 12, 18, 28. GST Council has broadly approved rates service nil 5.12, 18%, 28%. Thus, primarily GST slabs for any regular taxpayers presently by the proprietor of a newspaper publishes at his request a libel upon C in the paper and A agrees to indemnify B against the consequences of the publications and all cost and damage of any action in respect thereof. B is sued by the C and has to pay damages. A request a libel upon C in the paper and A agrees to indemnify B against the consequences. Also incurs expenses declared in the light of the section 224 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. He is not liable to be upon indemnity. B. The proprietor of a newspaper publishes at A request A libel upon C in the paper and A agrees to indemnify B. B. The proprietor of a newspaper publishes at A request a libel upon C. A libel upon C in the paper and agrees to indemnify B against the consequences of the publication. Thereof B is sued by C has to pay damages. Pay damages. Is not liable to be upon indemnity. Is not liable to be indemnity. Be the property newspaper. A request. Is not liable to be upon indemnity. A liable upon C. A agrees to indemnify B. B sued by C to pay damages and also incurs expense. A is not liable to be upon indemnity. A person whom the agent names to act for the principal in the business of agency. A person whom the agent names to act for the principal in the business of agency under the express or implied authority to name is. A person whom the agent names to act for the principal of the business. Substituted agent. Principal in the business of agency under the express or implied authority to name called substituted agent. A person whom the agent names to principal in the business of agency under the express or implied authority. Substituted agent. This is covered under section 194 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Section 194 states that where an agent holding an express or implied authority a person whom the agent names to act for the principal in the business of agency. Substituted agent, and this is covered under section 194 of the Indian Contract Act. Section 194 states that where an agent holding an express or implied authority to name another person to act for the principal in the business of the agency has named another person accordingly. Such person is not a sub-agent to the agency as is entrusted to him. Explanation: a person whom the agent named to act on the express or implied authority to name is called substitute agent. Person whom the agent names to act for principal in the business of agency under the express or implied authority to name. The person whom the substitute agent principal in the business of agency under the express implied authority to name is called substitute agent. Sub-agent, a person whom agent names act for the business of agency under the express of implied authority of agent, but an agent. Such a person is not a sub-agent, but an agent is the principal for such part of the business of the agency. This is covered under section 194 of the Indian Contract Act. Section 194 states that where an agent holding an express or implied authority is named another persons.